It felt good to apologize to people, you know. Mm-hmm. I remember there was this one kid, he said he used to have nightmares about me. I was like, dang, dude, you never know how you affect someone. Like, one word or one phrase or one moment can really change people's lives forever. And I apologized to him. He said, man, I needed that.
Oh, you know what we should have done is been able to get some pictures of the shooting that we just did.
He took some videos, right? Yeah. Homie did, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was sick.
It was cool, but you said you just jumped out of a helicopter, so I think we need to step it up a little bit.
I was shooting out of a helicopter. I ain't jumping out. Hell no.
Oh, that's what we should have done. Okay, you know what? You said you might stay out here a couple of days.
Yeah.
We have skydiving.
Yeah, but I need the person to hold me. I'm be screaming.
Well, they're not going to let you jump out.
You don't think we're in a long relationship the way I'm holding them. I'm holding them so tight. They're like, Terrance really loves this guy. No, I'm not trying to die.
Well, I don't think they'll let you just jump out of a plane by yourself without experience.
Shit, I'm just
with someone else first.
Psych.
Oh my gosh. How about those cows running at us?
Yeah.
For a second there, I really did think.
I thought they had beef, man. I thought they wanted smoke.
They were mad.
I was about to test my power, see if I can knock the cow out. You know what I mean?
Well, you're the one that was egging it on, talking crap to the babies until we part.
Those are my cousins, so we go way back.
I'm dead. I can't. That's so funny. Well, Terrance, thank you so much for coming out here and being on the podcast. I'm excited to share some hope. And you've got an awesome story and you're doing amazing things. So I'm excited to share that. So UFC, when did you get started with that?
I was around 22. So this what got me into MMA. So about like what was it? 2014. I had like a near-death experience. So like I took like over an eighth of shrooms and a viral acid, and I ended up start tripping really bad. Saw some demons, fell through a window, and that's when the trip really got active. And I saw this crazy stuff. Ended up going to heaven for a second, and I was like, "Dang, that was a lot of fighting in my pretty much my movie." Mm-hmm. And I was like, and I became like one of the baddest dudes on the planet. And I was like, "That's only one place you can do that, and that's the UFC." So I got my life together, changed everything around, and then I went to college for one more year because it's easier to get into Bellator, like one championship, if you have like a national title. Like if you're a wrestler with a national title, they'll build you up and set your career up for life. So I went to go try to do that, and the coaches wanted to keep me around for an extra year, so I dropped out the next semester. And I started my journey. Started with jiu-jitsu first.
That's cool. So, I just have to ask, because that's like a lot of drugs. Did you do that on purpose to this sounds fun? This sounds like a good time? At first, that's a lot.
Yeah, when you're younger, you just feel invincible. Now when I'm older, I'm like, I ain't trying to die. But back in the day, I really didn't think about the repercussions. When you're younger, I used to try to do backflips and stuff.
Right.
Now you try to give me a backflip, I'd be like, hell nah. I ain't trying to break my neck.
Right.
When I was younger, I was like, hey, I got to hit this.
To try it?
Yeah.
I know.
So it's kind of like one of them things. Like, I was like, let me just see what's up.
Did you remember it? Like everything that happened?
Yeah.
You did remember?
I remember the trip. I remember the whole thing.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Because a lot of times people forget about it,
I'm very visual. I got like a photographic memory. So like, I remember the whole thing. It was a movie scene.
And do you remember how you felt while you were in it?
Yeah.
Were you scared?
I was scared at first. So I'll tell you a little part of the story, but I can't tell you the whole thing because like I'm saving it for Joe Rogan, but I'll tell you a little part of the story. So, my trip started and I'm watching TV. I'm trying to change the channel because I don't really mess with South Park. So I'm like trying to change the channel. It keeps going back to South Park. I'm like, what the hell? This is trippy. Like I'm pressing the button. I know what I'm pressing. And it keeps going back to the same channel. And then out of nowhere, the demons show up. And I was like, oh, shoot. They're like big black figures. And I'm like, dang. So I start praying, and they make me start speaking a whole nother language. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, what am I even saying? It made me stop thinking about praying, you know? And then I was like, I was thinking smart. I was like, man, these guys can't stop my thoughts. So I started praying in my head, and then I was able to speak English again. And then I stood up to these demons. I was like, I'm not afraid of you guys. And I went to go take a step forward. They shut my body down, and like I had to watch myself fall. Like I'm falling towards the window in slow motion, like, oh, I want to stop it, but I couldn't stop it. I had to like watch myself fall through a glass window in slow motion. Boom. And it knocks me out, and I just feel like all reality melting, like just melting. And then I wake up, and I'm like, I feel so powerful. I was in reality for like a quick second right there. I'm feeling so powerful. I'm like, whoa. When I get up, I'm like, I never felt this powerful before in my life. And I end up doing like $3,000 worth of damage to this person's apartment, whatever, they're staying at, duplex type thing.
Who are you with? Were you with friends?
Yeah, so-called friends. But they act like they didn't really know me and stuff. Once I watched the video, act like they didn't know what drugs that I'd taken when they giving it to me. So yeah, true colors show, you know, when situations get dicey.
So you didn't even know what you were taking originally?
No, I did.
Oh, you did?
No, they acted like they didn't know what I took.
Got it.
They just started, he just started wilding out out of nowhere, pretty much what they were trying to say. Yeah.
And how did you feel like after? You know what I mean? Like, was that a wake up call for you, an eye opener, like, holy shit, that was scary? Or, you know what I mean? Like, what did you think after?
I'll tell you what I was thinking, because I woke up in the hospital. I'm like, I thought I was still on the couch. I just thought I was just tripping, you know, just seeing all this shit. It didn't really happen. But I wake up at the hospital, my hands are all swollen, my eyes all cut, I got stitches, my hands swollen. And I'm thinking, I was like, I don't know what I did. I got to get out of here. And I see the cops. I'm like, oh, shoot. And I pretty much turned to like 007, do a couple rolls, steal some clothes, escape the hospital.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Why? Because you were scared of the cops?
I knew. I was like, dang, the cops here. And I was kind of strapped in. I was able to like rip it off pretty much.
Oh, my God. And so what happened?
My mom ended up calling the hospital I was at because she wanted to know what happened.
Yeah.
She's like, did you get raped? I was like, hell no. Because I guess there was a poop stain on the pants I took in at the hospital.
Oh my.
I was like, oh, hell no. I remember if that happened, gang. I was like, that didn't happen, Mom. Chill out. So she calls the calls the hospital, and they're like, yeah, your son was supposed to go to jail when he woke up.
Oh my gosh. So were they looking for you then?
Yeah, then my mom like does a lot of good stuff in the community, so they just didn't take me to jail. They let me
got
stay
a freebie?
with her. No.
You stayed with her?
No, I just didn't have to go to jail that day. I ended up having to go to court and stuff. I injured like 4 cops, so.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. That's sketch.
Yeah, it was. So I was praying. I was like, hey, if this ain't a wake-up call, I don't know what it is. I was not trying to go to jail for no years. Right. So, and just knowing that. Were
they injured bad?
I broke one nose.
Oh my God.
Couple other injuries like shoulder and stuff. I told them I'm too powerful. They should have listened, you know? Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Might be on a lot of shit at one time.
I was like, if I seen someone do that, but I understand, like, that was the grace of God, like, that the cops didn't kill me, especially in the time that I was in. People were, like, dying left and right from the cops. So,
right.
I was grateful. I'm grateful to be alive, like I said.
Yeah, absolutely. Just curious, did you make, like, amends with them or
try to? I definitely, I'm all about that, making amends. So, I ended up writing a letter to him, reading it to him in front of the cops. And then I did a lot of work for the cops. I spoke at high schools, came to their events for the youth. So it was pretty cool doing all that, work with the cops, got to drive around with them.
Oh, wow. It
was a great experience. Like I said, like I tell people, in the darkest time, you might find your brightest light. Out of the darkest situation, it ended up being a blessing. Like I was able to change kids' lives. And it was cool, like, speaking at schools, because you wouldn't think kids would listen, but since I was so close to age, they actually listened. And I was able to help kids get off drugs, and that was a huge honor, like, so.
I feel it makes a difference too, you know, like being young. And I've found a big blessing in, you know, my recovery, getting sober so young, because I was 23, and being able to relate, like even still now, I feel like I'm able to connect with the youth, and they're more ears, because it's like, okay, well, someone's coming in and, you know, has a crazy story, and they can relate to that. And I think that that's amazing that you've changed your life around, and that you've been able to impact and do something about it too, you know, and making amends to me is huge. Like being able to say like, look, I fucked up and I'm sorry, you know, I wasn't in my right mind. Did the police forgive you for that? Yeah.
One dude seemed kind of salty, but I knew eventually he'll forgive me. You know, at the time he was like, man, I said, I must have hurt you the worst, man, like that guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still feel like there's people, which is crazy to me, because it's like you don't know what your kid's going to go through. You know what I mean? Like you should never judge anybody else. But I feel, it's been 12 years for me, and I did some messed up stuff through my addiction, you know, and I hurt a lot of people, and I've tried to make amends with everybody, but I still feel there's some people that are still salty, where it's like, damn, you know, it's like I was a totally different person than I am now. How are you still, you know, giving me the side eye at the grocery store? Like, really? Like, you got to get over it. But it's like some people hold on to that, and I just pray for them because they are going through personal stuff. But it's like you also have to realize when somebody's under the influence of something and then they turn their life around, like that's something, to me, that's forgivable, especially if they can come and apologize for it. And so how many, when you spoke to the youth, like would you do assemblies or schools? It's called like the Youth Police Initiative. So like it would be like an after school program. There'd be like 20 to 30 kids there every time. Is your mom proud of you? Yeah, we came a long way from, like I said, death to here. So crazy. I mean, that's scary, you know, as a parent and for her. And how many siblings do you have? I got 3 brothers and a sister. So like that was just an eye opener to me too, because like I couldn't imagine like how, like, cause my mom loves like obviously all of us, but it was just seeing how sad she was, and that ain't nothing like when your parents say they're disappointed. You know, I'd rather get whooped than hear that. So like totally, that really hit home. And then I was seeing my brothers, and I was like, dang, I was almost gone from all this. It really opens your eyes, you know, when you're in a situation like that. Yeah. And your siblings, they older or younger than you? They're younger than me. My brother Manuel, he's 23. My brother Gabriel, he's 22. And my brother Matthew, he's 19. Actually might be 20, I'm not sure anymore. And you lose count. My little sister, she's 11. Yeah, that's cool. And they look up to you. I mean, do they trip out that you're a UFC fighter now? Yeah, my little sister's a little savage. Cap $200, you promise. So yeah, it feels good to be able to like throw my mom thousands here and there, you know. It's a real blessing to be able to do something like that. Yeah. How was your upbringing? It wasn't the easiest. My mom had me at 16. She had to give me to my grandma like right away, pretty much, so she can get her life together, join the army, pretty much got her graduated from high school and just went straight to the army. So I lived in Linesville, Alabama with my grandma. She had like 11 kids there. Wow. And I was the runt. So, you know, you guys know how the cycle abuse goes. Like, you get beat, then you want to beat someone else, and the cycle was just like that the whole time growing up over there until I left with my mom. Wow. And how old? So 11 kids that were at your grandma's house? Yeah. Cousins or? Cousins, uncles, aunties. That's crazy. One of those things where you're fighting over toast at the breakfast table, right? Hey, if you got to give, it was whoever close to your size close gifts as well. So, yeah. Crazy. And are you close with your cousins? No? We were, but once I moved, you know, the distance, like, it kind of, like, we're still close though. There's sometimes they still fly out and come see us, like, for some holidays. So. And how old were you when you moved with your mom? I was like 8 or 9. We moved to Atlanta, Georgia. Stayed out there for a little bit. Then we moved to Germany. To Germany? Yeah. Oh, wow. Because of the army. Okay. And then my mom married this guy named Ross, and we ended up moving to Washington. Crazy. How was Germany? It was cool. I liked the chocolate there. Like, the vibe was nice there. The snow, like,
it wasn't like cold snow. It was like, you know, you could be out there. So it was a vibe for sure.
How long do you live out there for?
Like 2 years.
Was it hard moving around?
Yeah, but I used to always watch stuff like Jerry Springer and stuff like that. Like that channel, you know, like when you grow up, you be broke, you got the PBS and stuff like that. I would watch the jail movies. So like every time I'm like, oh man, if I fight someone, I could be the coolest guy at the school. You know how kids take a little bit or something. They're like, everyone knows me now. So like watching like ghetto stuff like that made me. It was funny how I thought like
Jerry
that, but it worked though. Like I fight at school and then everyone know me. Then I got friends the first week of school. They're like, this guy's crazy.
Jerry Springer. It's like we love that show.
I forgot the other show. What it was called? Like, oh no, what was it called? Bad Boys. What you gonna do? I know the theme song. When
Cops.
They come from you, cops. Yeah, I used to watch that growing up, and like I was like, all right, if I fight someone, it was kind of bad.
What was that other
like
one that was a really good one when Cops was popular? America's Most Wanted.
Yeah,
you watched that one too?
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, so I was like, all right, if I do this, I like be cool.
Did that cross your mind? Then actually, when you had the cops after you, were you playing that song in your head?
After that event, like when I was still trying to get clean, like if I got high, I would just always like hear sirens, and I was like, all right, I just need to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever go to jail?
Yeah, a couple times. It was terrible.
Terrible.
I cried every time.
Yeah.
And you know, also ADHD, my mom would almost be done paying, and I was like, oh man, she don't even want to talk to me. She ain't even try to help me. She's like, and then finally I waited, being patient, and she's like, I was gonna ask you to call multiple times. I'd be like, oh man, she ain't gonna answer. I need you.
I need you to bail me out.
And when you're in jail, you know, you can't really leave no voice message on it.
Right. What is it when you call and then you state your name and you try to leave the message through stating your name? Help me, get me out.
Never again.
Bail me out.
Yeah.
Oh man, what was the longest time that you did?
10 days.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine 5 days, and I always say 5 days too long.
10 days in Nebraska. Imagine that.
In Nebraska. So were you living in Nebraska for a while?
Yeah, I went to school out there in Chaparral State College. Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Scary stuff.
Yeah.
Not good. So she stopped bailing you out, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta let him tumble so he can climb back up the hill, you know, the mountain, you know. Sometimes you gotta take that fall to get back up.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that's how I look at it too.
Build that resilience.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was a huge... At the time, I was just so ashamed and embarrassed, and you know, and now it's part of my story. You know, it's part of me. It's what I went through to be where I am today, and I don't really have. I have regrets of the people I hurt through the process, but as far as the experiences and the lessons that I had to learn and overcome, I mean, I'm thankful for it because it's made me humble today, and it's given me a lot of gratitude for the little things in life that I feel without those experiences that I probably would be taking for granted. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I know I did a lot of reckless things, but it felt good to apologize to people, you know. I remember there was this one kid, he said he used to have nightmares about me. I was like, dang, you never know how you affect someone. Like one word or one phrase or one moment can really change people's lives forever. And I apologized to him. He said, man, I needed that. You know, and it felt good to do something like that because who would have thought he would be having nightmares about me? So it was good to make amends right there. So
for sure. And I feel like I've made amends to everyone I can think of, but you know, if I haven't, I apologize. You know, I'm be the first to say, like, I'm sorry if I've hurt you, if I've said something, if I've done something, you know, and it always feels good to make amends, and I could forgive and somebody's done something wrong to me. And I think it takes a lot of courage to be able to say, like, hey, look, I messed up, I'm sorry. That's not always an easy thing to do. So I could appreciate when people can come to me and apologize, and I'm the first to be able to admit if I've done something wrong also. I like how we're both just like swiveling in the chairs.
Yeah.
ADD. I mean, I'm telling you, that person were like, oh, we're going to just get, you know, solid chairs that don't move. I'm like, that is not going to work for me. Or am I going to need a fidget spinner or something? There's no way.
Right.
What do you do for, like, So you obviously stay really busy and active.
Yeah.
So aside from training, like what hobbies do you like to do? What do you do for fun?
I make music. I like to get tatted a lot. Play some video games. And yeah, I'm pretty simple. Like, I don't take much to please me. So, especially because, I started from nothing. So, like, I count all my blessings. Like, every little step or every little achievement, it's a blessing.
Yeah, agreed.
So, yeah.
Just like getting chased by cows.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was a cool experience. It looked like we're in the jungle out there.
I know, Africa.
I kept yelling, we're in Africa.
You went so quick though. The second those cows, we were like, oh,
I was like, I gotta get in this vehicle. I was like, oh hell no, they looking mad.
They're mad. They did. It scared me for a second. I was like, should we be worried right now?
I was like, they beefing, man.
That's funny. When's your next fight?
I'm looking to fight either January or February. I'm trying to get on the Toronto card in Canada. That'd be tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Just because, like, Washington's, like, right across. So, like, I know I got some fans there, so it'd be sick to light up the arena in there.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of training. Do you have to train so if you have a couple months, like, are you training now or do you mostly...
Yeah, I'm training now, just like once a day. I don't like to break my body down too bad if I'm not fighting. But once I'm in fight camp, I train like 3 times a day.
Crazy. What kind of rush do you get from that? I mean, I'd be scared.
It's just nice to get my emotions out because sometimes, I just want to punch someone in the face. So it's nice. I can just go do that and
get paid for it.
And they just love it. They're like, I'll see you at practice tomorrow. We just all get to go let our demons out, And sometimes, and I'm with Kevin Holland now, so like he would be talking to me. He said, "They see you not focused, man. That's life stuff. You need to beating me up. Like, yo, see, you're distracted."
And you don't get scared to get hit?
No, it's scary. I'll tell you that. But I'm getting more comfortable on the feet now, so it's no big deal. Like, it's better to see the hit than not see it, and that's why people get knocked out because they be like, it's best just like. What's up? I might even headbutt their hand now,
Oh my gosh. Have you done that?
No, I will though. Break their fist.
You're like, I'm not losing this one.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, when you were younger, were you into fighting?
I fought all the time.
Yeah.
Like I told you, like I was the smallest guy, so like I would always get the back end of stuff. So like I remember when I grew up, I was like, ain't no one gonna be able to beat me up. So like I'm kind of glad it happened and made me the beast I am today.
Did you ever think that you would be where you're at today?
Yeah, I always knew I was going to be famous. Like, hate to sound like that, but it was just, I didn't think that. I just knew, like, God had something special planned for me. Like, I always had like, crazy, like, iconic moments. Like, I remember when I was wrestling, we're at this duel, and this kid just keeps taking me down. I'm about to get teched. If he takes me down one more time, I get teched. That's getting beat by 15 points for the people that don't know. And that was like literally like maybe like 12 seconds left. And I take this dude down and pin him. And that was like the first time I beat the school in 20 years. And people just picked me up and was like throwing me up in the air.
How old were you?
Me, a freshman, like 15 years old. And after that, I was addicted to the wrestling after that. And then I ended up going to Fargo, doing all kind of crazy stuff. And then in college, I was on ESPN a couple times. So that was cool.
Did you have to get good grades to be on the wrestling team?
Yeah, well, decent grades, at least be eligible.
Yeah.
I remember at one point, once I got saucy, I was having the coaches do my homework. He'd be like, at least sit here at study hall with me. I was like, all right, I got you. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's hard. I mean, I wasn't just to stay on the cheer squad. My goal was just to get a 2.0.
Yeah.
You know?
You're like, I'll keep that 2.0.
As long as I get a 2.0. That's sad, you know?
I was
but school
the king
wasn't
of
my
the seas,
thing.
man. You know what I mean? I was like, in high school, I was a little bit better about it, you know?
It's
but
hard,
once I was in college, I was like, I just got to get a C or D. I'm cooling.
Yeah. Or have your coaches do your homework.
You know
I mean, I
mean?
didn't have someone that offered to do that for me. I guess I wasn't that special. man, it's like I struggled through school, you know, but I was still goal driven. I mean, I didn't like the school, but I definitely didn't want to get kicked off the cheer squad. I mean, I definitely saw that bench a few times.
That's why I think sports is good for youth, because it makes you have like a drive and want to succeed so you can do something that you love. So
right.
I tell everyone, just find out what makes you happy, you know?
Yeah.
And like you said, through recovery, that's like the best thing. Find out what your nick is, what your hobby is that makes you at peace.
Right. Agreed. Yeah. I mean, my kids, you know, especially like my oldest, he's going to be 10. I mean, that kid loves football. He's, you know, he's good at it too. But I'm like, you just stay focused, whatever it is that you like, because it will help you keep that mindset to not make mistakes. I mean, if I didn't have, I mean, I know it's sad to say a 2.0 because that's still really low, but I mean, if it wasn't for cheer and something I was passionate about, forget about it. I wouldn't have graduated. I wouldn't have walked, you know what I mean? So that was important to me. And I still feel I'm still goal driven. I'm still constantly setting goals for myself and what next and what else can I do. Do you feel like your goals are through UFC, or do you other things as well?
Yeah,
like push the limits.
I like at this rate, sky's the limit. I got a game plan. I write it down. Cause I got my mentor, Mark Barnes. Like, he's pretty much like a millionaire doing big things. He told me, and he lives through God, so like he's like my mentor through God too. And he was just saying like you got to have a good team of 5 with you, and have God in the center. And I think I finally found that, and I'm seeing a lot of growth, not just like physically, but mentally and maturing. And yeah, I just see God molding me and teaching me how to be a good rich person, you know, and not to lose myself. So my goal, once I get done with all, I want to start a gym for people that can't afford it. Give them a chance to do their dream, because some people can't even go to a gym or chase their dream because they still got to pay bills and things like that. So I want mine to be like a nonprofit. We can counsel, because, you know, we all got our battles. I want them to be able to talk there, really just be a family. So I want to do that. Bring as many people as God as I can, get in some movies, headline some boxing matches, like some exhibitions, like be a 2-division UFC champ. That's the goal. I got it written down, and we're going to make that happen. And yeah, and like I said, there's a lot of steps to take, but I'm ready to do it.
How old do you feel kids that have the goal to do what you're doing? I mean, they can pretty much start at any time.
Yeah, now they can. The kids, people, the UFC is about to be crazy in a couple of years. Like, kids are doing it from a young age now. So,
are they? How young?
Like, I seen videos where kids are like 5 doing it, and
no
like
way.
They can box and stuff. Like, I see little kids. I remember at the gym, like, I saw a little 11-year-old with boxing better than me. I was like, dang,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's important too to learn, you know, to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Also, but I could imagine, well, like football, you know, it's dangerous, especially if you're in the ring with somebody else and getting hit.
And I like the fighting in the gym idea, because like it builds confidence. Working out builds confidence, and you know, and it puts you in a team setting where people care about you. And I think that's just huge for like spiritual growth and healing. When you know that people got your back, they come to your event, they're supporting you. And that's why I want to do it, because I know it could change a lot of lives. And I know God gave me this platform not just to fight, but to do his work. And like I said, help people grow, heal. And yeah, I already been a peer counselor before. So like, he's already given me situations to prepare to change people. So
have you worked with other kids?
Yeah, I was a peer counselor at Excelsior.
Okay.
So like I've been like counseling kids, been speaking at high schools, all kinds of stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I love working. You have a little one.
Yeah.
Right? How old?
He's 1 and some change, like 3 months.
Oh, he's little. Yeah. I wonder if he's gonna follow in your footsteps.
My goal is to give him a chance to not have to do that. My job's to set him up so he can do whatever he wants. That's what I'm going to do. I want him to be able to choose his destiny. If I see him loving something, I want to be able to take him to camp. And that's why I'm doing this as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Keep going. And for your siblings too.
Yeah.
And your little sister. And she's betting on all your fights.
She's a little savage.
That's awesome. What advice do you have to kids that are having a hard time or struggling? Because that's a hard position. And I mean, you at a young age, you said that you always kind of knew you were going to do something. You had that in your mindset. Did you ever lose hope that you wouldn't because life was getting hard?
Yeah, sometimes. But like I said, God always put the right people in my life at the right times. And my mom's a motivational speaker, so like she be praying for me and stuff. Like, yeah, there's been up and downs. There's been times like I wanted to quit, but yeah, it's worth it. Like I said, like in the darkest time, I'd always tell people you'll find your brightest light, you know?
Yeah.
You just gotta keep digging.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Don't get discouraged when, you know, we've had hard things that come at us. I mean, that's just part of our story and part of our journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's all we do is keep pushing. Did you feel when you went through that, did you have embarrassment or did you embrace it from the get-go? When you had, I mean, did it come out right away on the news?
At first I was embarrassed about it, you know, cause I was out there tweaking. But like, as I start, like I said, once I start speaking, like it just became part of me, you know? And then like then it just came a bigger story as I started fighting, and then I start seeing God's plan unfolding, and I was like, all right, this is cool, man. I used to hate this. Now it's like, all right, I'm willing to share this. This is cool. Like I'm changing people's lives. People DM me, and I can give them a 2 cents or just say hi or saying I'm here for you. If you need to talk, shoot me a message. It's just, like I said, ain't nothing better than helping someone, you know? I'll say that's even better than a UFC win if I can bring a person a smile. That's why you see me always cracking jokes and stuff. Like, God made me a light, and I'm here to shine for people. And that's why you always see me smiling and cool and laughing, cracking jokes. I want to just bring that kind of energy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you do. You bring that energy. You brought it today.
Yeah.
I think you're making all of us laugh. We all felt in Africa for a second, Yeah. Well, what's crazy too is like what's nice about having more social media platforms is I feel like we're able to give hope to other people. Like I feel like when I was going through my stuff, we didn't have that, you know. I think there was like MySpace, but there wasn't people that were doing motivational speaking and sharing their stories. So I felt really lost. Like I felt completely alone. I felt I couldn't talk about it. And when I went to treatment, I was like, well, I don't want to tell anybody either. Like I don't want to tell anyone I was addicted to drugs and that I went to a rehab program, you know. But now it's been, like you said, a blessing. I'm here and doing God's work. Like I believe that he saved me from my addiction to be able to help so many other people. And now I'm able to share my story openly. I don't have to hide it. I don't have to be embarrassed about it because my story has made other people feel comfortable to reach out to me and say, hey, I'm struggling or I need help. I have a family member struggling. And for me, that's a huge blessing to be able to say, yeah, what can I do for you? How can I help you? You know, and I feel like that's exactly your purpose too. I mean, you're doing amazing things for yourself and, you know, you've made a great name for yourself too in the UFC world, but like getting to know you on a personal level, like you have a pure heart, you know, and you, like you said, you're cracking jokes to help other people and you're somebody that kids can go to and that you're open about it. Because I feel some people go through these things and then they just focus on themselves and like, that's not what you're doing. You're like an open book. Who needs help? Come to me. And that's cool.
Yeah, it's been cool to see it.
And what words do you hold on to when times get tough or you get scared? I mean, are you a believer in prayer?
Yeah, I pray. Really, like I said, whenever I start having doubts, like one phrase that stuck with me was like, you got too many people behind you to go backwards, you know? And once that was like the last like mental battle I had. And when he told me that, he said, there's no going backwards. Look how many supporters you got. Look how many people love you, you know? And yeah, it just helped me to push forward. I was like, I can't go backwards, you know? Mm-hmm. And I just asked God to reinstate the warrior in me, because like every day's a battle, you know? Not just like fighting, but the mental battle, doing everything right, you know? Mm-hmm. So I just always ask God just to reinstate the warrior in me, that I'm equipped for battle every day. So.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, and thank you for coming out and sharing your story. And I'm sure you're just going to keep killing it and doing amazing things. How do people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter or Instagram at T.Wrecks 155. My TikTok is T.Wrecks 95. Yeah, those are the platforms I'm on. You guys find me there. You guys can find me on Fortnite. You know, any game you guys want to play, just DM me. I'm down to help on COD. It's all love, you know. So yeah, hit me up.
Oh, that Fortnite. How do you even have time for that?
I always play with the jits to show love. They're like, I'm playing with Terrance McKinney.
Oh my God. What about them? What are they, skins? Dude, yeah. I can't with those. Yeah. Constantly. Mom, can I get V-Bucks? Can I get V-Bucks? I'm like, dude, whoever created these darn V-Bucks.
They were slick about that.
Dude, the so V-Bucks, slick.
They making money.
So
it was
much
a free
money.
game, and now they're making bucks.
Tons. And they're constantly coming out with new skins. Yeah. I'm trying to explain. I'm like, okay,
Fortnite, get me in the game. What up?
Okay, if I don't get this skin, then it's going to be gone. I'm like, until the next one comes out next week.
No. Sometimes they're right. You might make a mistake. Like, I wish I got the Darth Vader skin. And you know.
My son got that one.
He does?
Yes.
Oh, man, he's lucky, man.
So they won't bring it back?
Hopefully they do, but...
Sometimes they don't, so that's why you got to spend all the money and get all the skins.
You gotta get it in while you can.
I told those kids, I'm like, you better start working, dude. I do not have money for the, and then it's just like, boom, a click. I'm like, that's expensive. I don't even want to know how much money I'm spending on V-Bucks. Like, can't. I don't even want to know how much money you're spending on V-Bucks. Shoot, these are my kids asking for me. You have free range to spend what you want.
I've always spent so much on it. Me and my friends always cracking jokes about it.
How much V-Bucks that you spend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Well, now we know kids want to jump on, or adults.
Yeah, whoever.
Fortnite, he's down. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. It was a blast.